Hi guys, the Manchester Derby is what is up next for Man United in the Premier League. And once again, we are here in this video on the Stretford Africa channel today to preview that game together with you. As you know how we do it here, we will always give you first-hand information and insights in the build-up to our games so that you know how or what to expect and the sort of results that are possibly can come out from the game. You understand? So that being said, please subscribe to the channel if you are new, or if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and smash a like on the video and share it to your friends and family. Now let's just get straight into this. So we shall be looking at team news in looking at who are the players available for both teams, and then we shall take a look at some in-depth statistics with regards to the teams involved and the fixture itself, you understand. And then also what are the approaches from both teams, and how we think Manchester United should do, or what we think United should do to get a positive results out of the game. So basically that is what this preview and all our previews has been entailing, you understand. So please keep supporting and let's do this together. So team news, the manager of Manchester United, our interim manager Ralf Rangnick, he has just finished his press conference just a few minutes ago before I started this video, and he has given us an update on the players, how the injury situation is like at the camp, and it's looking very good. And you know, in our past few games we have only had Cavani and McTominay out, and he said that Cavani is back in training. He trained yesterday and he has trained today too, so they are looking and observing to see if they don't get any bad reaction from those training sessions, then he could be available for contention in this upcoming game, you understand. And McTominay too was out through some illness, which he has recovered, and we have seen photos of him back in training. So those two guys should really be that, without anything negative happening from now up to Sunday, those two guys should be available for the game. And on the camp of City too, they also have a very good squad to choose from. Their injury situation, even though it's also not the best, but those players who are carrying injuries are not really high profile players, you understand. So they are players who doesn't really get involved in their first team, except that Ruben Dias is a doubt for this game. He picked up a knock in their FA Cup game on Tuesday. Yes, so he's a doubt for this game. They are looking to try and fix him up and get him available. Apart from that, their backup goalkeeper Stephen too is still recovering from a back problem, and this the academy player Palmer, he's also not available. So the other injuries are not high profile or like first team players, and Manchester City too, they are equally good, and they don't have much worries in the terms of players not being available, we understand. So let's take a look at some numbers with regards to the fixture, you understand. Yeah. So Manchester United are coming into this game with not good form, even though City's too of late their form hasn't been great per their own standards. Yes, in their last 5 games they have won 3, drawn 1 and lost 1. You remember they just lost to Spurs not so long ago, you understand. Yes, so they have 3 wins out of 5, and they have 1 draw and 1 loss. And United, on the other hand, we have been the king of draws, you know. So in our last 5 games we've drawn 3 and lost none, but we have only 2 wins out of our last 5 games. So out of 5 games, United have 2 wins, 3 draws. So we've been drawing a lot lately, and that really hasn't helped our quest to push and finish in the Champions League places, you understand. So moving on, the head-to-head situation between these two teams is an interesting one. These two teams have played each other 49 times in the Premier League, and out of these 49 times, United have won 24 out of the 49 games, while City have won 16 out of the 49 games, and 9 of these games have ended in draws. So United have a better record against Manchester City overall in this fixture, and United have beaten Manchester City at home 11 times at Old Trafford, whilst beating City away from home at the ETIHAD. United have 13 wins there, and City on the other hand, their 16 wins is divided equally between Old Trafford and the ETIHAD. So they have 8 wins in Old Trafford and 8 wins at the ETIHAD Stadium. So if you look at these numbers tells you that United have a better record against Manchester City at the ETIHAD Stadium. Yes, and we shall be taking a good a look at that. And United has an impressive record, as I just said. So in our last 5 games at the ETIHAD Stadium against Manchester City, Manchester United have won 4 out of those games. And if we are going to go back more than that, so let's say our last 7 games there, United have only lost once in our last 7 games at the ETIHAD Stadium. And we all could remember that under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we have a very good record against Pep. And in our last 3 consecutive outings at the ETIHAD, we have come out victorious. You remember that we beat them 2-1, the one in which Rashford and Martial scored, and that game ended 2-1. And then we later went there to play in the League Cup semi-final, which we won 1-0, but we couldn't get the aggregate score that we needed to qualify. So they qualified even though we beat them at home. And then just last season, our impressive 2-0 win against them, where Fernandes scored from the spot kick, and Luke Shaw also added our second goal. And that was in that game. Martial was very superb. He played very well, and he was very instrumental to how we managed to win that game. The thing with Manchester City is that, like, they are a very difficult team to play against. Yes, there's no doubt about that. But there is a well-tested and proven footprint to use to beat them, which we'll be talking about later on in the preview. Yes, so for the season starts, Manchester City are coming into this game lying first on the league table. Yes, they are the league leaders, even though their recent results have given a massive chance to Liverpool to come back into the title race, but they are still occupying the first place. And United are coming to this game lying 4th on the league table. And then also, out of the total number of games that Man City have played, City have won 21 out of them, and United on the other hand have won only 13 games out of the total number of games that we've played. And City have 3 draws this season in the league, and United have drawn a whooping 8 matches. This is not good. This is why we are really struggling to make top 4. A whooping 8 draws, and we have a whooping 6 losses against Manchester City's 3. So if you look at the numbers, it doesn't surprise you that Manchester City are occupying the first spot on the league. They have been very consistent, and their win ratios is very good. This is a title winning numbers here, you understand. And attacking wise, Man City are averaging 2.4 goals scored per game, whilst United is averaging only 1.6. And then also defensively, Man City's defensive record is very impressive. They're averaging only 0.6 goals conceded per game, whilst United on the other hand are averaging 1.3. So as City are averaging less than 1 goal conceded, United is doing way above 1 goal conceded per game. You understand? Our defensive record has been a bit better under Rangnick, but I think this stats is massively affected by the Ole reign, where we kept just shipping in goals left, right, center. Yeah, so those are the few numbers with relation to the fixtures, and you know these numbers paint a story. If you look at particularly the stats, apart from our impressive record at the ETIHAD, that should give us motivation and something to hold on to going into this fixture. But all the other areas of the numbers are in favor of Manchester City, and as I already said, they are a very difficult team to play against. So for you to be able to stand a chance of winning or even getting a positive result, you have to give an extra 50%. So your effort level has to be around way over 150% for you to be able to match up, because you spend most of your time on the pitch chasing shadows. You understand? And you are going to have to, make the little ball you have count. If you are not able to do that, you will lose, and most of the time you are going to lose very embarrassingly. But one other main challenge United have faced in recent times has been their finishing in front of goal. United has been very wasteful, and if you look at the numbers in that area, we have massively underperformed our XG value. You understand? Yes, United have created 19 big chances in our last 6 games in the league. This is the second most chances created in the league. You are only second to Liverpool, who have created 29 chances. Big chances. I'm talking about very big chances here, not any mere half chance. 19 big chances. And listen to this. Out of those 19 big chances, United have only managed to score 5. So this is not a surprise why we haven't been able to pick up wins. If you create this amount of chance and you can't finish, the opponent has a chance in the game, and they will always take DS and they will punish you. You understand? So Liverpool, on the other hand, who have created 29 big chances, have scored 17 out of these big chances. This is what the elite teams do. You understand? But United is nowhere near that yet. And if you look at the numbers and all of these statistics, it paints a clear picture to you that United is still way away and way miles off the other elite clubs. So now let's talk about how we should approach this game so that we can win it, or even get at least get a positive result from it. So as I said earlier on, there's a well-tested and proven blueprint that you can use to beat Manchester City. Pep Guardiola, as brilliant a coach as he is, for the years he hasn't been able to find an antidote to that blueprint. And we ourselves as Man United, we have used that against him, especially under Ole, and we've come up with massive success with that blueprint. Spurs recently just used that against him and they won the game 3-2. And after that game, a lot of people was praising Harry Kane's performance in that game, and deservedly so. That performance deserves to be praised, you understand, because he was superb that day. But that really reminded me of our last game at the ETIHAD in the league against City, the one I just talked about. It was the same thing Martial did. Martial was very superb that day, and if you are going to really apply that blueprint, which involves you sitting back, defending your box well, and giving City the ball, and then the little time you have the ball, you have to transition very quickly and catch them on the break. And before you can do that, your striker is very crucial to that system. You have to play a striker who is able to hold the ball up and wait for the others to join him. You have to play a striker who can drift to pick up the ball and drive it at City's defense. Because if you don't do that and you allow City's defense to push high up the pitch, they are really going to pin you to your 18-yard box and put you under massive pressure. So you have to play a striker who will pose a threat to the centre backs and the back line of Manchester City to prevent them from really pushing high up the pitch like Harry Kane was doing. And when they pick your striker falls back to get the ball, he should be able to maneuver his way through tight spaces and then lay a pass. You understand? The only difference between Harry Kane's performance some few weeks ago with Martial's own last year is that Harry Kane was able to get about 2 goals to back his performance. But even though Martial didn't score in that game, but he was very pivotal to whatever we did in that game. So it's like when you sit deep, defend your box well, because in the early minutes of the game, City would come out through with everything that they've got, and if you mistakenly concede a goal, then the game is over for you. They will pass you to closing, you understand, and they will score more goals. But if you are able to keep your shape, defend well, and don't give them chance, the moment you go past the 20th minute of the game, you see the frustration start growing in the City players, and then from there the game will open up for you to get your chances too. So we really need to go into this game with that sort of mentality. Sit deep, defend all the pressure City will bring to us in the first 20 minutes. Try and contain them from there, and then when they start getting frustrated, then we will start to catch them on the break. But with this setup, especially under Rangnick is not someone who is that defensively minded. So I have my doubt whether he will really apply that tactics. And if he go on and open up and wants to go toe to toe with City, our quality is not up there yet, and City might tear us into pieces. I remember the last time we played against them, we ended up having more shots on target, and that was on our goal than we had on their goal. You understand? So they really that tells you the sort of massive pressure they really put us under. And now right now we don't have Martial again, and we don't have Harry Kane. The striker we play in Cristiano Ronaldo can't do what Martial or Harry Kane will do. Cristiano is a totally different player. He's not that type of a player. So that will massively affect the team I will pick if I was Rangnick in this game. In this game, because playing Ronaldo up front in this game, he's going to be way isolated. And when Ronaldo is isolated like that, he offers nothing to us, you understand? So he's better off sitting on the bench and watching the game go on, so that in the 70th minute, 65th minute, when the other team is beginning to tire, maybe you can bring him on. But starting him from the goal, I don't think will be a very good idea, because we are not going to get a lot of the ball, and we are going to have to make the little ball we have count. You understand? And it's going to be on the quick transition. And Ronaldo, he hasn't helped our quick transitions at all. You understand? So that's one of the major concerns I have going into this game. The fact that we don't have Martial to play him up front to try and worry the City backline, to try and help us. We need to get somebody up front who can hold the ball and wait for help to come. But Ronaldo is not that kind of player. He's always in a rush to shoot or to pass the ball or to try and even his passes recently are not the best. You understand? So that will massively affect my predicted lineup for this game, because obviously from what I've just said, I wouldn't be starting Ronaldo. I would rather play Bruno as a false 9, so that at least Bruno will just run around and hustle the defense, and sometimes also drop deep to add on to the midfield so that we don't get outnumbered. You understand? So I'll play Bruno as false 9, play Pogba at the number 10 role. If McTominay is back, I'll pair him and Fred in the pivot, because we need energy there, and we need legs in that midfield. You understand? And on the wings, Ilanga is just Ilanga right now. He's in top form, so I will start Ilanga on the right or on the left, and Sancho should continue doing his thing on either of the wings. You understand? And the defense, I've always said that Maguire's partnership with Varane doesn't work, and Victor Lindelof is our best defender this season. So I will play Varane and Lindelof at the heart of defense, and then on the fullbacks position, Luke Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka comes back in, because City has they have tricky wingers, and Wan-Bissaka have always had massive success rate when he's playing against their wingers. So I would rather play him in this game. And for the past few games that he has come back in, he hasn't let himself down. You understand? Yeah. So that has been my match preview to the game in general. Let me know your thoughts about it, and how you also think the approach should look like, and whether you think United stands a chance of winning or even getting a positive result or not. You understand? I am sitting here, I'm tempted to say it is an opportunity for us to revenge that 2-0 defeat at Old Trafford. But then I remember that just the past week, even little relegation threatened Watford, we couldn't revenge the 4-1 defeat we suffered at their hands at Old Trafford. So I can't say it's a revenge time for us against big Manchester City. It all depends, even though it's a derby and the players should be well motivated to come out and play. But when you look at the massive gap that lies between these two teams, our only resort is that blueprint I just explained. And as to whether Rangnick will employ that or not, I don't know yet. And this is Rangnick's first big game in the league. We don't know how he approaches big games. We are all waiting to see how this will go. You understand? So please keep supporting the channel, and subscribe if you haven't. Until we meet again next time after the game. Have a nice time to you all. Bye bye.